Y'all, so listen, Across the Spider-Verse officially dropped in theaters last night, and I guess officially today, since it's Friday when you're watching this. But y'all, Eric Voss and the folks over at New Rockstars put together an ending explained, and I know I missed some stuff, so I always love tuning into these guys because they break it down for you. Really go by the frames, y'all. They gonna break it down for us, so I can't wait to see what they have come up with and check it out. But hey, if it's your first time checking out this channel, what's going on, y'all? The name's Leo Rydell. Hit that subscribe button down below for your new guys, and I'm here today to check out the ending explained for Across the Spider-Verse, guys. Let's do it.
Back to New Rockstars, I'm Eric Voss, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse ended with a gut punch of a cliffhanger, a true, well, what the hell?
Oh my god, guys, I think honestly, whew, that cliffhanger, man, I knew they were gonna cut to black on us. I knew it.
Now moment, setting up the next installment, Beyond the Spider-Verse, currently slated to release March 29th, 2024. There's a lot to explain with this movie's take on the Spider-Verse, or I should say arachno-humanoid polymultiverse. No post-credit scenes, so in this video, we're just gonna discuss where this movie leaves us and what's coming next. Spoilers ahead! Also, I broke down new details of 2018's Into the Spider-Verse over on the Deep Dive channel, where on Friday, I'm hosting a live breakdown of Across the Spider-Verse at noon Eastern. Support me with one of these Miles Morales Multiverse Dive shirts at nerdriot.shop. It's one of my favorite new shirt designs. I'm gonna be wearing this all the time. And thank you to Boxsuit for sponsoring this video. More on their tasty offerings later. So in 2023's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales learns that
look at all these Spideys, guys. This was so exciting.
The Spider Society of Miguel O'Hara has excluded Miles because he is an anomaly. That his spider, Alchemix Spider number 42, came from another universe.
Such a cool way to do that,
never
too.
Supposed to bite him. According to Miguel,
so cool.
This Collider event caused Miles' universe's Peter Parker to die. It left Earth 42 without a Spider-Man, and it created the multiverse-consuming villain, the Spot. In Miles' universe, Jonathan Owen revealed in this movie to be the alchemic scientist in the 2018 movie that Miles threw a bagel at, producing that hilarious action word of bagel. So Miguel explains the nature of the Spider-Verse, aka the web of life and destiny, or in his words,
Spider-Verse. It's called the arachno-humanoid polymultiverse.
You always lose me with that. This web, he says, is made up of interlocking nodes of canon events. Critical rites of passage for all Spider people, which include deaths of loved ones and sacrificial deaths of police captains, which for Gwen Stacy would be her father, George Stacy, and for Miles would be his father, Lieutenant Jeff Morales, soon to be Captain Jeff Morales. And Miles, as an anomaly, disrupts these canon events just by his nature, which we saw in Mumbattan when Miles saves Professor Prabhakar's girlfriend's father, Captain Singh, from the fall.
And see, that's why I love this movie so much, is because out of all these spider people, they would just sit and let that happen. Our guy Miles, man, he's like, nah, man, I'm jumping straight into it and saving anybody I can. I love
the crumbling Alchemix building in that universe. So Miguel and his society trap villainous anomalies from the multiverse in these amber-colored shells, including a live-action cameo by Donald Glover as an alternate universe.
I'm so glad they actually did this. Like, the fact that they brought Donald Glover into the movie and he just looking at Miles like giving him the side eye, man. I'm like, listen, I think this is confirmation right here that we are going to have this Spider-Verse movie crossover with the MCU. This has got to be, right? This is definitely here from the MCU. I love it, love it.
Aaron Davis Prowler. Remember, Glover played Aaron Davis in 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming in the MCU.
I don't think that just went nowhere.
Prowler yet at that time, and he also cameoed in 2018's Into the Spider-Verse on Aaron Davis's TV from an episode of NBC's Community when, as his character Troy, he wore Spider-Man PJs. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, voiced Miles Morales in the Ultimate Spider-Man animated series. So Miguel tries to encase Miles for just a few days to let Miles' father Jeff die back on Earth 1610, because we know the Spot is targeting him. But Miles is able to use his electricity powers to explode out of the energy field, and he flees all the spider people in the HQ. He lures everyone on a chase on the high-speed rail train of Nueva York. Then he fries Miguel's techno-organic suit and leaps back down to the lab, where he uses a machine to cocoon him in a shell that will send him back to his home reality based on the DNA of the spider that bit him, so that he can save his father. Miguel does the same to Gwen Stacy, sending her.
So, okay, you guys got to let me know down in the comments, who caught that, like, immediately he was going to the wrong universe? Because I was like, listen, bro, I know for a fact, watching these types of movies, I know you ain't on track to the right universe. So when I seen him buzzing up in that cocoon, I was like, bro, I know you're not going to the right universe.
back to Earth 65 with no multiverse gadgets, so she's not able to help Miles. Bringing us to the final act, where things get really eerie. Miles dashes home through the rain. He passes reflections of Spider-Ham, Penny Parker, and Spider-Man Noir, his friends from the 2018 film. But this
so
red
good
and
to
green
see them.
tinted world just looks a little off compared to the Brooklyn he left behind. Now, when you're watching your
42.
favorite movies and shows, Miguel leads a search party of Jessica Drew and Ben Reilly to Earth 1610 to stop Miles and to let Jeff die and defeat the
Ben
spy.
Reilly,
Gwen
that
Stacy,
was
meanwhile,
such a
back in
cool
Earth
style
65,
for him.
makes peace with her dad, George, who decided to resign from the police force
love
and
that
therefore not
watercolor.
be a captain. And he gives her a different gadget designed by Hobie Brown that Gwen's able to use to go to 1610 to help Miles. So Miles has gone
Hobie
home.
coming
Little
through.
detail in this bedroom, boxing gloves now hanging from the doorknob. This is a room of a Miles who's still working the bag. So Miles
Yep. So that was a really, I didn't even catch that. That was like a really minute detail of like, hey, this ain't the same Miles. And then when his mom started saying like, your hair is different. Wow, you changed your hair. I was like, uh-oh.
from the doorknob.
He probably
This
got
is a room
braids,
of
don't he?
Miles who's still working the bag. So Miles tells his mother Rio that he's Spider-Man, and we think
She's like,
Gwen is
"Who?"
listening outside, but Rio doesn't know who Spider-Man is. For a second, we think it's a joke that Rio might just not be caught up on current events, but no. Like the classic Silence of the Lambs fake out, where Clarice Starling is going to one home while the FBI is raiding a different home. Gwen is actually outside
Gwen
a
is
different
another one.
location in a different
That was
universe.
a great
Miles' empty
reference.
bedroom in 1610. Meanwhile, Miles realizes he is not in his home universe. That machine back in Nueva York was based on the DNA of the spider that bit him, which was not from 1610. It was from Earth 42, a universe with no Spider-Man. In this universe, Uncle Aaron is still alive. He says, hey, calling back his shoulder move advice from the first movie, and he asks Miles why he took his braids out. So Aaron, the criminal,
when he
is
said
thinking
that, I
Rio
was like,
to help her
uh-oh.
make ends meet, and it's taken Miles under his wing. They go to the roof, and they see the memorial mural is not of Aaron, but of Miles' father, Jeff Morales. Jeff is dead in this universe. Miles gets knocked out, and he wakes up tied to Aaron's punching bag in his apartment, the one that Miles and Aaron worked out with in the 2018 film, and the one that Miles tied Peter B. Parker to. Aaron now reveals that he is not the Prowler, someone else is, and a younger Prowler steps forward and unmasks himself. It's the face of Miles. His hair
crazy,
is braided.
dude.
The credits identify this as Miles G. Morales. He's voiced by Jarrell Jerome. Our Miles' shocked face is lit by red on one side, blue on the other. But in the middle, those two colors mixed, Prowler, purple. A color that, not to get too nerdy about this, does not exist in the normal spectrum of light, because in the spectrum of all visible light by the human eye, blue is on one side, red is at the other end. Our rods and cones just kind of mix them together in our heads. That's why purple is often associated with villains in these movies, because it's just not from this world. So our Miles says, if I don't get home,
That's a
our
cool
dad
detail.
is going to die. But Prowler corrects, your dad. Our Miles begs, please, you have to let me go. But Prowler says, why would I do that? And he
This was such a cool concept, and I knew we were headed toward the end of the movie as soon as this happened. I was like, okay, this is a huge event. I already know we're not gonna be able to finish this movie out with this happening. So I knew we were on our way to a to be continued. How did you guys pick that up? Let me know.
clenches his armored fist and presses the punching bag right beside Miles' face. So the film ends with the spot closing in on Miles' father, Jeff, back in 1610. But we hear this wild drum solo, taking us back to the opening image of the movie. Gwen Stacy's drumming with her band, the Mary Janes. Remember, this movie began with Gwen Stacy leaving her band, and now she says she found a new band to combine forces.
This was such a dope ass shot. And you had Spider-Man India and also Spider-Man Punk or Spider-Punk in this band here. I was like, bro. Oh, and the little cybernetic Spider-Man girl too. I love this new team that we've assembled. This is getting bigger and bigger. Oh man, I can't wait for more.
Of herself, Gwen Stacy, Peter B. Parker, Hobie Brown, Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, and Spider-Ham on course to rescue and avenge Miles. End of movie, no post-credit scene. See you next year for Beyond the Spider-Verse. But how do any of them untangle this mess? Well, you could say Miles' dad might just be able to go the George Stacy route and resign from the PDNY, but I don't know. That seems like a technicality.
Maybe.
Not really be able to undo the anomaly of Miles' existence as a Spider-Man. Of course, it's also possible that Miguel's interpretation of the rules of the web and life and destiny are not sacrosanct, and that rather than Miles being the exception, the anomaly, the mistake, the Spider-Verse might be stronger if more spider people were bitten by spiders from other dimensions, because it would make them responsible not just for their homes, but other neighboring universes. One thing we've learned about these movies is that sometimes folks just have to live in multiple worlds at once. And so maybe by defeating Prowler Miles in the next movie, the solution could be to save him by getting him bitten by a radioactive spider from another universe.
Tight.
And since this movie established Spider-Verse canon events as Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker mourning the death.
That would be epic, bro. Prowler Spider-Man? Could you imagine this dude just swinging through the air, got the Prowler gloves on?
Captain Stacy from the 2012 Amazing Spider-Man film, and Tobey Maguire Peter Parker greeting Cliff Robertson Uncle Ben's death in that movie. Two universes we know are linked to the MCU by Spider-Man No Way Home. And the Spot in this movie visited Mrs. Chen from Venom, a universe this movie labels Earth 688. And we also, of course, got a live-action MCU actor, Donald Glover, and an animated world. It's just inevitable that Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to leave us with a live-action Miles Morales who can exist in the MCU. Now, my Easter egg breakdown of this film is coming this weekend.
All right, yeah, just a little subscribe to the channel there. All right, per usual, my guys over at the new Rockstars with all these details. I didn't know that about the eye seeing, that we couldn't see purple naturally. I'm like, bro, what? I think I'm purple right now. But yes, I love that little small detail there. And there's so many great ideas presented toward the ending here. Of course, Miles. I love the sound of like making him a Spider-Man as well. And the theory that they should potentially use different spiders from other universes to be a Spider-Man, to bite a Spider-Man from a different universe. Y'all, I'm getting kind of confused right now, but I love that concept of taking another Earth spider and biting another Earth Spider-Man. I love that concept. And that's, I think Miguel might be somehow misinterpreting what's going on here, because think about it. That's the only time it happened. So I'm like, okay, how can you just say that if Miles stops it, that it's actually the anomaly? I don't know, man. I just think maybe Miguel O'Hara is just he's overanalyzing it, or he's somehow misinterpreting it. I just don't think this is going to work out the way he thinks it will. But hey, Miles got his friends going to help him. I love that in the end he has Spider-Bite and Spider-Punk. And he had, Spider-Man India, along with the team from the first movie. We've got a bigger Spider-Verse team on the way. And I agree with them. Beyond the Spider-Verse, gotta be headed the live-action route, right? Because you got Donald Glover, Mrs. Chen. You even had Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was, like, animated in the movie. Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire. It was archive footage, but he appeared in it. Guys, come on, man. Come on. We gotta be getting a live action Miles, y'all. Guys, if it's your first time on the channel, hit that big red subscribe button and let me know down below what you thought of this video, what you think about Beyond the Spider-Verse, what are some of your theories. Let me know, and guys, we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.